Live. Live. Hello everyone, I'm Setttings, and today I'm gonna be testing Marvel's Spider-Man 2 on the Steam Deck. How's it going, guys? I've been streaming this game for 3 hours on PC. Now I have a couple save files that are super cool. How's it going? Welcome. By the way, I'll be also doing Sniper Elite Resistance, but that's coming later. This game is not yet verified. It's unknown. But so far for what it's seen on PC, I think we can handle it with a few adjustments. So yeah, dynamic res will save us, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. How many FPS on Xbox 360? Portable Man 2. I mean, if it even touches 30 FPS with ultra performance FSR, Valve is probably going to put verified, the verified tag. Let's be honest here. They need to sell more Steam Decks. What a better way to do it? Can you also try fast travel? Yeah, now with the save that unlocks everything that I downloaded, we should have access to everything when it comes to fast travel and all that good stuff. By the way, we're now preloading shaders. There it goes. Very heavy film grain. Oh, we have HDR on for some reason. I keep forgetting. Hold up. All settings. And make sure that streaming mode is on. Thank you very much. Display and graphics. Now VSync, we already have that on SteamOS. HDR disabled. It looks washed out. Okay, so by default it's on FSR 3.1. Dynamic, targeting 30 FPS. With a low preset. And if you didn't notice, it has a lot of film grain, which luckily we can turn off. It's way too much film grain. Anyway, so we're on default settings. I'll just enable anisotropic filtering for the textures. Okay. And let's reopen the game just in case. So we are at 800p. Those settings, dynamic res, 30 FPS. All right. Which Steam Deck is this? This is the OLED Steam Deck. And thank you so much, Spencer Walker, for another devil donation, $6.66 US. Thank you so much, sir. The biggest donator in this channel. He says you got jump scared looking at your credit card balance because you earned 1% on these donations. So I earned 6.66 points. Just can't escape the devil. Well, thank you so much, sir. 1% is a lot. So thank you for the support. I appreciate that. It helps me keep doing this, so thank you. Hope you're having a great one. And that you have a Steam Deck. You do. You play Alan Wake 2 on it, somehow. So yeah, we're on the default settings. Default is low settings with dynamic resolution at 30 FPS. Game Boy Color, well, for that one as well, they're tweaking the resolution a bit. But we'll get there eventually. Okay. The motion blur, it's a bit too strong. And the resolution is pretty low, but whatever. At least we tried, right? At least it's above 30 sometimes. Oh, I forgot to put the full thing on screen. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 100% save because mods. Somebody uploaded a save from their PS5. So we actually have the 100% save. Oof. Yeah, look at this. Look at how the map lags. The CPU is crying for help. Let's try fast travel. Yep, it works. That's insane. Yeah, I think the map is at 17 FPS because I'm not a developer, but I'm just thinking maybe when you're on the map, the game tries to kind of guess where you are going to fast travel to. So if I move quickly, maybe the CPU starts to die. That's my guess. Let's try a static resolution instead of dynamic. Let's see what happens. I just want stable resolution for now. Just to understand where we're standing. Okay, quality FSR is doing a little bit better actually, what the hell? Although it still looks like FSR. It doesn't help that Peter's suit is very... It's a big contrast with the sky, I guess. So maybe dynamic res is not 100% necessary. FSR 3.1 quality. It looks a bit better than with dynamic resolution. How low was the resolution being dropped? What the hell? XeSS quality? Okay. Yeah, XeSS, I see a bit more ghosting actually. When I move the character. Yeah, probably dynamic res has overhead. It uses more VRAM as well. Let me check it one more time. Oh no, definitely FSR is more chunky. Although stuff into the distance looks pretty good. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, XeSS looks better when it comes to Spider-Man, but sometimes in motion I see some ghosting, so not entirely sure. Yeah, look at those rocks. I mean, we're on a Steam Deck. I personally don't mind. Oof, it drops hard.
Get out of here! I'll take care of them.
Yeah, this is what I said about the symbiotes. Maybe balanced is a better idea. Yeah, when the symbiote shows up, holy hell. But it's badass. Still badass.
These things are nasty.
Yeah, my guess is CPU load. It's pretty high in comparison. Let's go to my other save that I'm not in when it's basically raining across the board. And let's see what happens. Sí, lo probé Eduardo, pero a 30 FPS no usaría FrameGen. No, Javier, no es raro. Javier H. La 1650 es más rápida, en realidad. Yeah, we're going to try balance, don't worry. I want to check my other save very quickly. Just to see if the rain plus the symbiotes was the biggest difference. Fast travel, it was like... Yeah, it was very, very fast. Just the CPU died when I was moving around the map. Alright, let's see. Anybody else is going to commit a crime? Okay, here it drops to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are very CPU limited. Usually when it stutters, it's like 1 or 2 cores maxed out for like a split second. Maybe balanced with a 30 FPS cap. Might be a good idea. Sí, hablo español. Soy de Uruguay.
Hi, I'm Spider-Man, and now
Yeah, in combat is way better. Definitely nighttime plus rain plus symbiotes is what hurts the... What hurts is the most. But hey, so far so good. I was expecting ultra performance FSR. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it has pixelation, but it's a Steam Deck playing Spider-Man 2, which didn't come out on PS4. The 100% save file, I got it from Nexus Mods, actually. You can find it there. So 800p with quality FSR 3.1 so far works better than using dynamic resolution. Definitely, like you guys said, seems to have some overhead. Let's try balanced XeSS. At least in the previous games, for me, it looked better than FSR. There's no sharpness slider though. So we'll see what happens. XeSS quality. Sorry, balance. Can you reduce the amount of cars and citizens on the street? We should be able to. Oh yeah, why is the traffic density on medium? And the crowd density on medium? Okay, that was a default preset. My mistake. Although I'm going to put some screen space reflections. I take from some places, but I also take from others. Okay, now the actual low, everything on low. Low settings, but not the lowest. Motion blur, let's disable it for clarity. Otherwise the YouTube's thing just compresses the hell out of it.
I know, I was disappointed.
What about 800p native lowest graphics? Lowest graphics versus low wasn't a big difference. At least on PC. Very low. Yeah, it's even lower on the... I think the shadows are lower. But I didn't notice a huge difference between low and very low when it came to performance. I think actually lowering the draw distance from medium to low did the trick. Do you guys remember if in this game I can change the time of day? I don't want to be Peter on rainy days the whole time. Yeah, it's a PS5 game at the end of the day. And it's a PS5 game because it's not on PS4. I think technically, due to the limitations of the CPU and the SSD and all that, yeah, big stutters sometimes. As I was saying, the PS4's main limitation here, I'm pretty sure, was the CPU and the hard drive. But on PS5 you cannot turn off ray tracing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a PS4 game and then they were like, we want fast travel. And I'm fine with it, they need to sell PS5s, otherwise... I mean, the PS4 is like 10 years old at this point. AFMF2 available. As far as I know, on SteamOS there is no such a thing. But this game does have frame gen, episode 3 frame gen, so I'll try it at the end. Because many people are asking about frame gen. 12 years old? Ugh, my brain! Oops, wrong button. Rogue Ally will definitely run it much better. Yeah, without a doubt. Where's the civilian? Oh.
There's an ambulance not too far.
Sorry about that.
I'll drop you right off. Oh my god, thank you.
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok is also impressive. But I mean, I'm pretty happy that this works on Steam Deck. I thought, again, it was going to be like ultra performance, FSR, barely 30 FPS, but no. It just stutters when you're traversing, which also happened on Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man Remastered. So in that way, I'm not surprised that that happens. How did you... Oh yeah, the first mission. I need to do that again. Let me see first if I can get the symbiote sections to be stable. And we'll try the first mission. because it has more effects. Yeah, I thought also a Star Wars situation. Yeah, I mean, just the fact, again, that on PS5 you cannot turn off ray tracing scared the crap out of me in that regard. Okay, this is an old save. Which one is the oldest? 2024. It's funny to see a save from before the PC port came out. But hey, how did you get the game so fast? I bought it on Steam. It came out like 3 hours ago. Okay, still rainy. That's okay. I just wanted to change suits. Bully McGuire. And for Miles, we're doing this other one. The Wolverine suit. There's so many suits in this game. It's ridiculous. There you go. The one with the cat. So, fast travel. For the people asking, it does work. The thing is, when you're looking at the map from zooming out and moving, you get like 10 FPS. Not sure why. It's using one core at 100% when I do this though. My guess, again, it's just a guess, I haven't developed this game, is that the game actually tries to guess where you're going to fast travel. That's my guess. But in the game, if you unlocked a district, you can just hold Y and it's going to fast travel. I'm at the other corner of the map, by the way. And it took like 5 to 6 seconds. So yeah, it loads pretty fast. Either way. Eso es muy gracioso, Patiño. Yeah, fast travel in this game has always been crazy, but on the Steam Deck it works, still works great. I was surprised about it on PS5, but again, the issue is when you're traversing, and after a few you get some stutters. I'm guessing the game is loading something, which makes sense, it's streaming all the data. But it also happened to me on Spider-Man Remastered, so... But in to a lesser extent. It wasn't as aggressive of a drop as in Spider-Man Remastered. Here's the symbiotes. So my guess on a stress test would be get into symbiote mode and start attacking them. And this is definitely a big hit. But actually with the balanced XeSS, it's a little bit better. It's not too bad. It's completely playable. So far. Donks.
All clear. At least for a little while.
All clear. Let's go to Peter's house. Sorry, yeah, Peter's house. Let's cross... Oh, fast travel isn't available while you're on a mission. Okay. Okay, just as a test. We're here. Let's go to the other corner of the map. All the way to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 6 to 7 seconds, give or take. Peter time. Yeah, it probably just renders the map in 3D. If you go very close, you can actually see the geometry. It's probably a simplified version, but I'm guessing it's trying, again, to guess where you're going to go next. So it preloads something. It's only one core, though. And on the map, I mean, it's just the map. It's not a big deal. But 40s, I wouldn't say 40s is a thing, especially considering the CPU performance. You can probably get close. But again, if you're trying to go fast, like I'm doing right now, you're telling the CPU, work faster! So yep, it works way better than I expected.
Seems like everyone has a robot army but me.
But as soon as the symbiotes render, it's a little bit difficult. I wish dynamic resolution was less pixelated.
That wasn't too rough.
Some crash reports on Steam for people. Yeah, I got some crashes on PC actually. Hold up. Let me quadruple check the settings very quickly. Let's see if I missed something. Again, what I tried to lower was mostly CPU limitations, like draw distance and all that. Texture filtering shouldn't have a big impact. Let's see, 44. Yeah, I'll keep it at 4 times. Shadows, shadows can go to very low. I forgot about that. Though, like on the PC version, it's barely an improvement, especially on nighttime, but the reflections, you can remove them, but on the GPU side, it's only on the GPU side. Level of detail, you can actually put very low level of detail. I'm a moron. Traffic density, okay, this is as low as it goes. CPU crowd density, this is as low as it goes. Hair can go lower, but let's keep it on low. Okay, so this is important. Good thing I double checked. So low settings, not lowest, plus very low LODs, level of detail. This Steam Deck is equal, which GPU and CPU? Not entirely sure. But so far, again, it's running way better than I expected. Yeah, if you see the very low draw distance, this is what happens with the building. See that building in the middle? The pop-in is very, very aggressive. Extremely aggressive. But again, we're playing on a Steam Deck, so hairs were particularly taxing on the last game during cinematics. Yeah, that's the thing. On low, apparently was the best setting. Oh yeah, this is hard. Good, lots of enemies. Just what I needed. And now symbiote for maximum performance degradation. It's not too bad. It's okay. Yeah, we should use a 30 FPS cap. Just to make the CPU do less work. Again, I'm just stress testing this part. We'll be back to the beginning of the game. Looks like a PS Vita game. You probably never played a PS Vita. You weren't even born. Nah, I'm kidding. You just got born. Oh, it's getting worse. Now, PS Vita, we were lucky if we had shadows. This actually, hang on. We have a shadow coming from the sky and another one coming from that light. We have 2 shadows at the same time. Yep. Actually, the lights cast shadows. I forgot about this. This is the lowest setting, almost the lowest setting. Yeah, PS Vita had one Spider-Man game. Wasn't it the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game? Bruce implying they're 12 years old. They could be, why not? I mean, it's not like we were not watching videos online at that age. Can I play the game on 8 gigabytes of RAM? I don't think so. He's already using 10 on Steam Deck. Yeah, I think that aggressive level of detail actually helped quite a bit. Although there's very aggressive popping. But I'll keep going. Go faster, Peter. I thought it would be another RT required game. You and me both. Okay. Yeah, I think the LOD decrease helped a lot actually.
There. Symbiotes are after those people.
Yeah, there's when it drops.
That's right. Focus on the big loud Spider-Man.
Oops. Yeah, and then when the symbiote shows up, we're GPU limited. That's hilarious.
Big boy coming in.
But it makes sense. No, I don't have a Discord server. I used to. It's probably still there. But I stopped using it. It was I didn't take a break. That was the issue. I was like, okay, I make YouTube videos, but then I went to the Discord and kept talking to you guys. And I couldn't stop. Now I can actually go to the gym without looking at my phone. It's a miracle. No, this is handheld. Handheld and portable on Steam Deck are the same thing. TDPs are the same. Let me unplug the charger though, just to show you battery life. So we unplug the charger, give it a few. So far, low settings, very low level of detail. And I might lower the shadows a bit as well. They're a bit too pixelated, but we're playing portable Spider-Man 2. Yeah, I think that lowering the shadows in this case should save us. We'll see. I want to see the Sandman fight. Let me get this over with.
That's all of them. I'm so tired.
Yeah, we're trying frame gen, but allow me a moment. Let's save. I'm closing the game as well, just to make sure I didn't break anything. No pasa nada, Mateo. Mientras no sea metal líquido, está todo bien. Yeah, somebody's asking what happens if thermal paste falls in your socket. You'll be fine. As long as it's not liquid metal, you can do it. It's okay. The pins will go through. Just make sure the CPU is placed correctly. I had that issue once, so don't worry. Actually, that happened to my PC on my 14900K. Under the CPU, I had a garbage thermal paste. It was like a grease, and it went under the CPU. I put too much. So you should be good. Let's put it on amazing. On the music, let's be safe. And put streamer mode. And let's double check the settings one more time. Okay, 800p. XeSS balanced. Again, dynamic resolution works, but it's too pixelated. I think there's overhead. Low settings, SSAO, I added it. Screen space reflections, maybe you can turn this off for more GPU performance, but we're going to lock it to 30. Very low level of detail, this is important. Helped a lot with hitching while traversing. We're also lowering the hair. And depth of field, I mean, I wish they only used this in cutscenes. So let's put it on very low, just to have something. I don't know about you guys, but I like having a bit of motion blur at 30 FPS. Just a personal preference. It affects performance a tiny bit, so keep that in mind. And there's also frame gen, but we're going to try that later. Valve has Valve fixed Indiana Jones yet? I don't think they can fix it. Let's see, once Venom appears on screen, well, this part I cannot skip. The symbiote appears on screen, we seem to be fine. And I'm sorry again, this cutscene, unskippable, even if you're playing from New Game Plus. So yeah. You want a good shooter, at least 6 FPS for Steam Deck OLED, Left 4 Dead 2. Then every Call of Duty before Modern Warfare 2019, you should be good.
If this doesn't work.
I hate motion blur, but when I'm above 30. Although, if you're playing at, for some reason you're playing at 120 FPS, sometimes motion blur looks good. I don't think they can fix Indiana Jones. So Mass Effect Legendary Edition works fine. No, it's fine. The EA launcher is the issue on the Steam Deck of Mass Effect. Also, if you didn't notice already, texture quality is very low. You only have low, medium, and high, but on low, it uses way less VRAM than medium. That's why we need to make that sacrifice. Maybe just to F around a little in the end, we put it on medium, but it usually has a big performance impact, because we're VRAM limited. Would you recommend Spider-Man 2 if Steam Deck is the only console I have? Yeah, definitely. But I will wait for a sale. Just because, I mean, unless you are like me, this game basically convinced me to buy a PS5. I think it crashed, actually. Haha. Oh, never mind. It was just loading. Probably not meant to skip cutscenes. There it goes.
Principal Evans already hates me for being late this morning.
Bro, I told you
Okay.
to be on time.
It's fine. We'll be back before we know it.
I was scared for a second.
I had my college application review with the school counselor.
Anyway, since we are showing battery usage,
Oh. Well,
let's log it to 30.
city and take care of Marco quick then.
Yeah, I forgot to log it, sorry guys. So as I was saying, if you're not like me, then again, this game convinced me to buy a PS5. Also, we didn't have Ghost of Tsushima on PC at that point. Then you probably will be fine with this on Steam Deck. Just don't expect 60s. I would expect 30s with downgraded visuals. But on PC, I don't buy games at full price. Well, now I do because I have a YouTube channel. But if it was the only way to play it, yeah, definitely.
Still can't believe
It works.
Triple J is your new boss.
I mean, considering again, we're playing this game on a Steam Deck.
No time.
Let's see how Sandman goes though. It's a bit more demanding when we're close to him.
According to witnesses, he was running down Broadway yelling.
Oh, and I forgot, this part technically shouldn't have the wingsuits, but I'm using a New Game Plus saves.
Just exploded.
By the way, why doesn't Sony allow us to transfer the PS5 save file to the PC?
Good thing there too, Spider-Man now.
Yeah, I'll use FrameGen, but right after this. I want to see if this is stable, and then we'll see.
They're untested.
When it comes to battery, we seem to be fine.
But you brought him, right?
No comment.
Okay, yeah, you can see on the effects that the resolution really does affect it. That's okay. I'm looking for locked 30s over here. I'm not being too ambitious.
Look out! You okay?
Yeah, but I think we found
On Destiny 2 you can, yeah, but Destiny 2 is completely different. It's a live service online game. This is single player. I wish I could put my Horizon Zero Forbidden West and my Ghost of Tsushima save from PS5 on PC.
for himself.
But I think that would be a great feature to force people to use PSN. Because now it's optional, and I'm fine with that.
He's hungry.
But, well, force people. To entice people to use PSN, they should have the save files transferring
That
over.
debris right back to him.
I'm happy that it is optional, but if it wasn't optional, I would love them to add save files from the cloud. Like, oh yeah, you have a PS5, you have a cloud save from X game. Okay, on PC you can use the same save. Yeah, Xbox does it in some games. In the Play Anywhere titles, you can actually do it. Yeah, so far so good. We're on balanced XeSS. Again, just don't expect 40s, especially when traversing or when using the symbiote. When it drops is moments like this, when there is a good amount of effects. In this case is the sand particles in the air and the destruction. These moments is when it's the most difficult for the Steam Deck, and same thing with using the symbiote. When you're doing symbiote stuff, it drops pretty hard.
He's not the only one. Sandman just
Hang on, let me lower the shadows a bit more. Shadows are very low. Okay, they lose the filtering on very low. That's okay. I'll consider this very low then. Very low with XeSS balance. It's not a big deal. Let's help the GPU as much as we can. Here we're actually GPU limited in this section.
need you now.
In the open world, it's more CPU limited actually.
Mr. Parker,
I'm sorry. Who's this?
Principal Evans.
Of course. Principal F.
Si uso resolución dinámica, se pixelea muchísimo más, así que no lo recomiendo, pero sí, se puede. I was saying in Spanish, somebody asked me about dynamic resolution. And dynamic resolution is a little bit too aggressive,
I'm just running back right now.
especially in the open world, but you can use it if you want to. It's probably going to be way better when it comes to GPU demanded sections, such as here. But in the open world, it gets super pixelated. It's insane. I'm not sure what the equal GPU will be, honestly.
Miles?
But it's definitely not a 1650 like most people are saying in the chat. Most people. Lots of people are saying in the chat.
I abandoned students during a citywide emergency.
Yeah, you're screwed.
But definitely, I mean, looking at this, it makes me wonder, when you're fighting symbiotes, not to spoil anything, obviously, what happens to the GPU?
But it's gonna hurt first.
Your game keeps cutting scenes? What do you mean? It crashes? It's like a 1050, 1060. They're not the same thing though. The 1060 is way faster than a 1050. Yeah, 1660 Super, it's a cakewalk for this one. Asking about symbiote powers, I have a rare case of New Game Plus. Okay, there it took a second to load, and we're in.
We gotta turn it up a notch. Ow! He hates water. His shoulder's already wet.
Bet he's not a big fan of electricity then either.
Read my mind.
Now the 1650 is faster on the Steam Deck when it comes to GPU stuff. The thing is, the Steam Deck has newer hardware, so we can do more stuff.
I'll hit him with webs while I get sparky.
I'll keep the water flowing in the meantime. He's done. Take your shot.
Pull him by arms, man.
Boinks.
Somebody order some water. Bang! Spider-Man, watch out!
Spider-Man, watch out! Which one? Let's see, the famous scene where you fly to the other corner of the city. Okay,
You okay? I'm working on it.
approved. Definitely lacking on the draw distance department, but it works.
Thought I lost you there.
Can't get rid of me that easy. Time for Genki to work his magic.
I thought it was going to drop frames for sure when I flew
No, man.
to the other corner of the
Need a
city.
big water source by Wall
Yeah, the biggest issue I would say is effects.
Genki knows all. Plus, we were super weird in class earlier.
Knew I never should have taught it a gifted
Yeah, 800p looks fine on the smaller screen.
This is for your own good.
I don't know how this looks on the smaller screen because I haven't I haven't tried it
Today's forecast.
on the smaller screen yet.
100% chance of rain. Got him right where we want him.
Oops. Bang. Yeah, this is the OLED. The LCD should have more travel when you are basically traversing through the city, but if you lock it to 30, should be good.
Thanks, Genki.
It runs okay. The thing is, these affect heavy moments. The GPU suffers a lot.
We got him right where we want him. I admit I may have
So I would consider dynamic resolution. The thing with dynamic resolution is that when you're in the open world, it can look very pixelated. It goes a little bit overboard with the
The water tank.
resolution drop. But then when you get moments like this part with the sand effects and all that flying in the air, and the enemies, every time they hit you, they throw sand in the air. Basically there is GPU limited. As you can see, the GPU is locked to 1600 MHz, and thank you to Jisunex once again for buying another coffee. Like yesterday. Hope you turned down your stream volume. Thanks for testing Spider-Man 2 on deck. Thanks for watching, man, and for the donation. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, I lowered the volume, but not enough, I guess. Thank you for that. So as I was saying, the GPU is maxed out in here. So in this moment, it would be nice to have dynamic resolution actually, because it could drop below the balanced XeSS option. But in the open world, not so much, so let's see. Okay, 30 FPS cap. Let me show you again the settings for the people that just joined us. Welcome. So as I was saying, GPU heavy moments, dynamic resolution, and non-GPU heavy moments, traversing and all that, dynamic resolution is way more aggressive. So basically very low. It still looks pretty good. Level of detail though, on very low is pretty aggressive, but we gotta sacrifice something. And a 30 FPS lock. Somebody spamming. Yeah, it feels smooth enough, I would say. But let's see with dynamic resolution. Because here the GPU set is absolute limit, so if I look this way, yeah, it still drops. Yeah, it needs ironing out, definitely. I wish we could lower the effect quality a bit more. Otherwise, it's been okay.
This is getting out of hand. Pete, what happened?
I ended up outside. Just keep going up and I'll meet you.
Yeah, it's like in Miles Morales. When effects show up, it dies. And this is important because this is the first impression of the game. This is where you play the game for the first time. The open world runs a lot better than
All
this.
this destruction from one guy.
So this is the worst case scenario actually. Well, maybe big symbiote fights are more demanding than this actually.
Stay inside.
No, frame gen is not enabled.
Guess he's busy. Gonna be a long day.
But when it
till we
drops
get
this
water.
low, frame gen is a bad idea.
Keep it moving, Miles.
Yeah, there's a lot of input lag with frame gen,
You can still have
especially if
them.
your base frame rate is low.
Oh man!
Yeah, exactly, Miles. Oh man!
Why couldn't Marco just make sand castles instead? Ma, everything okay? Almost Pete.
Yeah, I think if we had more control over effects,
I'm heading downtown to
we
help
should
with
be good.
resources and supplies. Is Genki covering for you at school?
He is. But I got this meeting with my
Well, yeah, obviously the Rogue Ally runs better than Steam
I
Deck.
can talk to your
That shouldn't be a surprise.
You right now.
Coolest mom ever.
And please.
I wish the normal Rogue Ally though, the non-X variant, would have a bigger battery.
Down.
Oh,
You're only making it worse for yourself, Marco!
before you had a PS5 playing the game like this on Steam would have been perfectly fine for you? Yeah, definitely. Before the PS5, definitely. Especially if you play this at 60. Personally, I'm okay.
Wish I could just write a
It's
book
just
and
that
write
this
it.
section has
Get as
lots
many
of
colors
effects.
I wanted. Or Spider-Man would. Right. Brainstorm later, Mouse. Focus.
So yeah, the worst case scenario is definitely the beginning of the game. Finally enough. Well, have fun, man. Hope you enjoy it. Also, the default settings for the Steam Deck were a tiny bit high,
How's it going, Spider-Man?
but they are serviceable. Some stuff was on medium settings, like the dual distance. So we were more CPU limited on the open world, but by default there's a 30 FPS dynamic resolution, so
His now.
it works, it's just more pixelated.
Hey, sorry, what'd I miss?
You didn't miss anything.
The suit's last software patch wasn't stable, but here goes nothing.
No, I won't do the Rogue Ally. I'm very limited on time, unfortunately, so I had to drop some stuff.
Wet wings?
And the Rogue Ally, unfortunately, was one of
We're
them.
not out of this yet. Marco's at Pier 4 Beach.
So yeah,
What happens if he gets all that?
I'm tired also. I started streaming like
Just did.
4 or 5 hours ago.
Gonna need you ASAP, Miles.
Didn't take a break yet.
I see him all right. I'm right behind you.
But it's been worth it so far. I'm loving the PC version.
What did I just
Yeah, almost 4 or 5 hours of Spider-Man 2 stream.
You gotta calm down.
I mean, if I still had the Rogue Ally,
Danger.
I would be in trouble because it would be a little bit too much effort.
They can't ignore Sandman.
Do you sleep? Sometimes. I try my best. But if you give me a coffee, I'll sleep even less. Kaboom.
Miles. One and only.
Miles. Kilometer Morales.
Any ideas?
Well, Space Marine 2 on Steam Deck has lots of patches. I saw that they added frame generation,
Generating a
but I don't know much about
What happens to the surface?
Space Marine 2 now.
Turn up the
I haven't played it in quite a bit actually.
Like when I shot the minis.
But I want to get back to it. The thing is, there's too many games coming out, which is a good thing.
right at him.
You want me to get hit by lightning?
Can you handle it?
Here we have the symbiote. So this makes it run even worse. Of course, if you're playing the game normally, you won't have the symbiote here. This will be in New Game Plus. This is for research purposes, okay?
You gonna redirect the lightning bolt?
Like you said, gotta break out the toys.
The device farting, basically. What do you think about Resident Evil 9 thing? I haven't heard about it. I heard that it was going to be open world, which makes me scared about the RE engine.
Now or never, Spider-Man. Time to move.
No crashes yet, funnily enough. On PC I did run into a couple crashes, but on the Steam Deck, fingers crossed, no crashes so far. I thought it was going to crash at the beginning when I skipped the first cutscene, but it was just loading. Yeah. Yeah, supposedly it's a Leon Kennedy game. It'll be interesting. Considering RE2 Remake is the highest grossing Resident Evil game, it makes sense. Yeah, so far it's playable. The draw distance is garbage, but that's because it's on very low. It's to be expected. But what kills it the most is the effects. The effects destroy it.
The app is busted. Pete, you seeing this?
It'll be interesting to see how Switch 2 compares. Yeah, definitely. I want to see DLSS on Switch 2.
Hold on a sec, Miles.
You're solid. Nice to meet you. Ooh, what happens to your legs, Spider-Man?
Here. Hey, Genki?
I know.
Wrong texture.
The whole city's telecom network is down.
What's happening to the requests that are coming in?
They'll all get queued, but
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 mods are going to be crazy. Can't wait. Yeah, the sand texture on the black suit didn't load properly, but that's okay.
Headed there now. What a mess.
Okay. Let me retry XeSS without dynamic resolution.
Marco.
Yeah, I mean, the dynamic resolution is not being super effective. And it looks worse. I'm not 100% convinced on dynamic resolution on this one just yet. It's way more pixelated.
In the financial district following the Sandman.
There they are.
Yeah, no, I'm not convinced with dynamic resolution. XeSS, balanced,
I am now.
30 FPS cap.
Thank you.
Spider-Man, Chief needs your help.
Yeah, texture details gone. I mean, obviously, yeah. we don't have a lot of VRAM or system RAM. We have 16 gigabytes and we're already using all of it. So yeah, that's the sacrifice. I mean, yeah. It was either this or not running on 4 gigabytes of VRAM. Automatic captions. In low latency streams, I don't think it's available. Yeah, there is FSR, but I think it looks worse than XeSS. But sure, let's use it. And as you guys asked me, I'm going to use FrameGen as well. Okay, balanced FSR 3. Yeah, it definitely looks way chunkier. And it performs worse with FSR 3. And it can barely do the particles. I don't know, I'm not convinced. Let me see that again. Okay, on this one the particles are still having issues, but it isn't as chunky and it runs a bit better. I don't know why there's a dead pixel in the middle of the screen. Maybe my capture card. Are those artifacts above Spider-Man? Yeah, I mean, artifacts around Spider-Man, definitely. Especially when there's a lot of contrast. Oh yeah, there's another one at the side of the suit. Anyway, let me get back to the main menu. Yeah, I'm using CryoUtilities. Will it work with the 580? I have no idea. Alright. What about FSR performance? It's probably going to be better, yeah. But now I have to do what you guys asked me, which was basically frame generation. So let's do it. No, you can go higher than low. By default, the game has some stuff on medium. Also, I forgot to turn off the reflections. Oops. So that's okay. Let's unlock the FPS. Yeah, I mean, outside of that, of those heavy places, like the very beginning of the game, with these settings you get something like this in the open world. I mean, it's significantly faster when there is no Sandman and no symbiotes, but again, your first impression of the game might be a bad one. So that's something I think you should keep in mind. I'm looking for the thing. There you are. Something tells me I should fly. I mean, FSR 3.1 looks very similar to what it looked in the previous game, actually. I'm not a big fan of how FSR looks. At least not in this game. But as you can see, outside of those areas that I showed you at the beginning of the game, we've been pretty good. The thing is when you get to a big symbiote fight, that's what I'm not entirely sure about.
For a resupply.
You don't have problems with doing shipping work.
It's necessary.
Exactly.
But as you can see, it works pretty well.
'Cause I'm great at it. Let's get those boxes out of the
Yeah, XeSS in this case looks way better than FSR. Symbiote power! Die! Yeah, there. When the symbiote gets close to the camera, that's when it suffers the most. Same with the sand. It's like an effect, a particle effect. Did you do anything to the settings? Yes, I dropped everything as low as I could, excepting the reflections. I kept them on low, forgetting that could help us at the beginning of the game. But by default, the game was on a mix of medium and low, funnily enough, with dynamic resolution. So that works pretty well, but the dynamic resolution is way too pixelated, and we have more stutters when traversing. But anyway, I digress, how JSAUX says, so let's use dynamic resolution and see what it looks like. But again, with the base frame rate so low, okay, frame gen, let's disable the FPS lock as well, to avoid issues. Frame gen, FSR 3.1. And let's swap to miles maybe. Well, let me fly a little. Ooh, the input lag. Jesus Christ. All the input lag, Batman. Yeah. I don't think this is a good idea. No. It might look smooth on the stream, but I can tell you that it doesn't feel smooth at all to play.
Gotta move. Come on. You had to know I'd be here.
XeSS frame gen, there is no XeSS frame gen, but you can use frame gen on basically any setting. You can be using DLSS, and FSR 3 is frame gen. It's independent. The frame gen is independent from the upscaler. But again,
I'll get you to an
might
ambulance
look
in no time.
smooth,
Oh my god. Thank you.
but it doesn't feel smooth. There's a lot of input lag and small artifacts in the middle of the screen.
You're doing great.
Especially when I'm moving fast, obviously, because there's more stuff close to the screen. So no, it's not 60 FPS.
There. You're all set.
Can you remove anti-aliasing entirely? Yeah, just like in the previous game. If you're using upscaling though, you cannot disable anti-aliasing. But this feels horrible. With FrameGen, it feels bad. Actually, I was defending FrameGen in the previous stream on PC, but my base frame rate was like 70 FPS, so having a base of 20 to 30 FPS leads to way more input lag. Yeah, you could also do... Actually, let's do 720. Let's help the GPU a bit more. That's actually a good idea. 720. Yeah, 1152 by 720. It will look pixelated when it comes to the UI, but it's an option. And you can use the FSR sharpness slider. Looks too pixelated though, the UI, but there we go. This is 1152 by 720. Very low, XeSS balanced. And let's remove FrameGen for my own sanity. Oh, never mind. It was a FrameGen break in the UI. Okay, now we're talking. This makes sense now. Actually, 1152 by 720 is helpful because you can actually, with the built-in FSR1, you can control the sharpness. Although, obviously, it's a lower resolution, it'll look more pixelated.
Armored truck getting robbed. Must be a Tuesday. You remember things going this big? You guys like stealing
Don't shoot
stuff?
me, don't shoot me. I'm enabling the overlay.
Stopping robbers.
Yeah, this actually improves the GPU limitation. It's a lower resolution at the end of the day. Only works well with the GPU 1600. They tell me that every single time, and it never works like that. I'm sorry, but I tried everything that they said. It never feels good at 30 FPS. Please stop. Stop with the BS, okay? It might feel good to you, but the input lag is obvious. Also, setting the GPU to 1600 when traversing, it will drop us below 30 FPS. I know this because I tried it in Spider-Man Remastered, and it was the same situation, so... yeah, not convinced. Lock TDP and overclock for better performance. I mean, that's a good idea, but most people won't do it. Exclusive full screen will reduce input lag. I guess. I don't know how it works on SteamOS.
Intruding. Never. Let's do this.
Yeah, but when the symbiote is close to the camera, it pukes all over the screen. Yeah, I mean, the people that are talking about that on FrameGen probably don't know what input lag is. I guess they play on streaming services only. Because the input lag with FrameGen when the base is 30 FPS, I don't know how they do it. But again, they probably just look at the number instead of looking at the game, I guess. I'm so tired. Sí, en la Rogue Ally va a correr mucho mejor,
And if
sin
anyone
dudas.
needs help again, The Spider-Man.
Yeah, for the people asking about the Rogue Ally, on the Rogue Ally it will run a lot better, especially due to the faster CPU and GPU. So when traversing, it shouldn't be bad. You can, I would even say on the Rogue Ally, you can probably push it to medium. It should be smoother. Yeah, I need to take a break. So anyway, what are my thoughts? Well, my thoughts are similar to actually Spider-Man Remastered. Although instead of 40s, I'm targeting 30s. So here we go. What's my advice? Overall, I would say 1152 by 720. If you want better looking UI, you can put it at heavy moments like the beginning of the game and the symbiote parts that I'm not going to spoil. There's XeSS, FSR, and IGTI, the Insomnia Games temporal injection. I think the best looking one is XeSS in this case. FrameGen, base frame rate is too low. I don't recommend it. Then when it comes to graphics, something like this. I lower everything except in ambient occlusion and screen space reflections, and obviously ray tracing. Level of detail is on very low, because if you go higher than this, well, apart from the buildings popping up on very low, very close to the camera, on low there's more stutter when traversing. So if you care about that, put it on low. You have way better quality on the buildings, but it stutters a bit more. And then the same with depth of field. So overall, I would say low level of detail, if you don't mind about those stutters. And the rest like this, 30 FPS cap, balanced XeSS, 720p. And you have the entire screen. You should have mostly 30 FPS. But again, it will drop in certain sections, especially at the beginning and the symbiote sections. So far, it's running way better than I expected. Again, I expected ultra performance FSR with sub 20 FPS or exclusively ray traced or something like that. And when it comes to battery life, probably 2 hours 15 minutes on the OLED and 90 minutes on the LCD, locked to 30 FPS. But this is way better than I expected, especially on Steam Deck. Good thing they allow us to play without ray tracing. And obviously we're sacrificing texture quality and the shadow resolution. But as you can see, it's not bad at all things considered. I feel like I shouldn't be getting these results in a good way. Do you think that FSR4 will help the look of the game? I mean, it depends. If FSR4 is hardware, it requires exclusive hardware like Nvidia's DLSS, then it probably will be a big deal. First impressions are good. From the previews that I saw in Ratchet & Clank, looks insanely good. Yeah, it does work.
There's an ambulance nearby. I can take you.
By the way, I'm going to be making another Steam Deck video on this one,
Thank you.
but I'm going to point the camera at the screen so you can actually see what it looks like. And if people want to see more detail look at the game, they can watch this live stream or a chunk of this live stream.
Here you go. And now you're in much better hands.
But again, I'm pretty damn impressed. I was expecting way worse. Compare this with type of games that we're playing on PSP. Yeah. No. This is definitely way better. It's way better than Borderlands 2 on the PlayStation Vita. But that bar is too low, right? What about using low instead of very low? Low is a little bit too much. very low on the depth of field is due to is for the cutscenes not to drop frames as aggressively. And very low shadows is to help the GPU as much as I could, but you can put actually shadows on low as well. It depends on how much you want to stay away from dropping below 30 in certain sections. Same with the hair. So yeah. Let's call this low settings. And this, I think it has auto swinging enabled. It's kind of embarrassing. Swing assist is on 0, and why didn't I crash? Let's see if I fly into the ground, what happens. No, Peter doesn't care. IGTI, I haven't tried that one actually. It usually runs better. Maybe next time. Yeah, you know what? In the video that I'm going to make pointing at the screen, we're going to try IGTI. No, en el Rogue le va a andar mucho mejor. En el X, no, le debería ganar por goleada. Is there any way to improve settings like models or textures to medium? I mean, you can, but you're going to drop further, especially when there's effects on screen. Yeah. Would having the game installed on external SSD cause performance issues? Maybe. I want to try it on the SD card as well. On the SD card it's going to cry like a little bitch, but that's okay. That's kind of the point. But it's going to take a while to move it to the SD card. It's like 100 gigabytes. No, es el juego regular. Yeah, this is not the deluxe edition. Everybody should be able to access. Alright. Very quickly I'm going to Miles Morales, I think. So let me very quickly load a different save. Oh man, this game on a hard drive. That's also another thing that I should be looking at, actually. And then we do Spider-Man 2 on a thumb drive. It's a mix of being pixelated and the bitrate killing it, because when it's pixelated, the bitrate has to be higher. So yeah, that's why I want to point a camera at the screen for the next video, actually. No, I'm Uruguayo, but you are close.
Why am I so nervous?
Yeah, this is how it looks like on daytime. Again, a 30 frames cap is highly recommended. Especially if you're doing the LODs on low instead of very low. But you get way less pop-in. So that's a big recommendation from me. Other graphics on low. Funnily enough, they are. They're on low, not lowest. He didn't even feel the hit. So yeah, it works way better than I expected, basically. Would I recommend it on Steam Deck? Yeah, definitely. If you don't mind some drops below 30 when you are on very heavy FX moments, quote unquote at the beginning of the game, quote unquote very heavy symbiote close to the end. 8 inches of symbiotes, then you should be good. It looks okay. The smaller screen should hold up way better, especially with XeSS. Do I think this will be verified? Yeah, probably. I'm pretty sure this is going to be verified. Valve needs to sell more Steam Decks. And honestly, which other games are verified? Well, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is verified. And it runs, and it has way less fast traversal. It's more pixelated. That's a good point to put here. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looks way more pixelated than this. Way more. By a long shot. And it's verified. So
We really gotta
Pretty sure that this one is going to be verified sooner rather than later.
Depends.
Yeah, and if we get more patches, I want a patch that has more control over the effects. Because if we can lower the resolution of the effects, the lighting from miles, the sand particles, the... what else? What am I missing? The symbiotes. If we can lower the resolution of those effects, I think we can get away with a solid 30 FPS. So yeah. It should be okay. Drop the resolution even more. I wouldn't drop it further, honestly. You can do it if you want to, but I don't think it's worth it. Especially since when traversing we're still CPU limited. And thank you Games Lord for still being an awesome supporter for 3 months. Holy hell, thank you so much, sir. I don't know if you're here or if it's an automatic subscription, but I appreciate either way. Was Spider-Man be playable on Ryzen 5 5600G? I don't know. I don't remember how the original ran. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I unplugged the Steam Deck, and it actually looks pretty sharp. That's pretty impressive, actually. Yeah, I cannot show you that on a webcam. But it looks pretty damn sharp. I'm pretty impressed, actually. This is the first time I see the game in the smaller screen. Okay, I'll be making a video of this tomorrow. So yeah, the deck gets keyed out, but it actually looks pretty damn good on the smaller screen. Mind blown. Actually, I think I can do something about this. One sec. Let me use my brain a little. If I add another webcam, I'm using 100% of my brain right now. Hold up. Okay. I almost got it. If I turn off this camera, and I turn on this camera. Hi! How's it going, guys? Okay. This camera records at 4K, so without the reflection, let's move the... This is the camera? Yeah. It's hard to tell due to the reflection, but I don't know, man. That looks pretty damn good to me. And this is on the open world, that's why 50s. But it looks great. Yeah, Spider-Man is not floating. It's actually, well, it's floating. Yeah. It looks pretty damn good. Yeah. On the capture card, it definitely looks way more horrible than in real life. So I'll be using a camera to record this because it's more realistic. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did taking a look at Spider-Man 2 on Steam Deck. Ooh. And I'm starting to die. So see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.